That 5-second mistake at the stoplight just cost you $800. You sit there, foot on the brake, pads clamped hard against the rotor. Heat builds. The pad surface bakes into the metal. When the light turns green, you've imprinted a glaze that cuts braking power and doubles wear. One habit fixes this and doubles your brake life. Plus 3 mechanical secrets shops skip because they take time and you never ask. The fluid problem, the pin problem, the hill technique that saves rotors. Don't forget to subscribe and like the channel while I dive into the details. Let's start with the invisible killer, the moisture killer. Why your fluid is eating your brakes. Brake fluid is hygroscopic. It absorbs water from the air every single day. Open your brake reservoir cap right now and moisture starts creeping in. Humidity in your garage, condensation when temperatures swing. Even the tiny gap around the cap lets water vapor through over months and years. Here's what that moisture does. Fresh brake fluid boils around 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Add 3% water and the boiling point drops to 280 degrees. Your brakes hit that temperature on one hard stop from highway speed. When fluid boils, it turns to vapor. Vapor compresses. Suddenly your pedal sinks to the floor and you have no brakes. That's called brake fade, and it happens because you ignored a $10 fluid tester. But boiling isn't the only problem. Water inside your brake lines causes corrosion. Steel brake lines rust from the inside out. Aluminum pistons pit and seize. Caliper bores corrode and the piston can't retract cleanly. When a caliper piston sticks, one pad drags constantly against the rotor. That pad wears twice as fast. The rotor overheats. You end up replacing calipers, pads, and rotors all at once. A $150 brake job becomes $600. The test is simple. Buy a brake fluid moisture tester for $10. Open the reservoir, dip the probe, and read the percentage. Anything above 2% means flush the system. The fix is a 2-year flush cycle. Most manufacturers say lifetime fluid. Translate that as lifetime of the warranty. After 2 years, moisture content climbs past safe limits. Flushing brake fluid costs around $100 at a shop. Do it yourself for $20 in fresh fluid and an hour of work. Always use jack stands. Never trust a floor jack alone. Bleed each caliper starting farthest from the master cylinder. Pump fresh fluid through until it runs clear. Shops skip this because there's no visible damage until failure. They wait for you to come back with a seized caliper. Then they sell you the expensive repair instead of the cheap prevention. If you tow, live in humid climates, or drive in mountains, flush every year. Heat and moisture combine to destroy fluid faster. One boil event can permanently damage the fluid's additives, and you'll never get that protection back. Check your fluid color through the reservoir. Fresh fluid is clear or light amber. Dark brown or black means it's saturated with moisture and debris. That's your warning before the system fails. The 2-year rule prevents all of this. Mark your calendar. Flush in spring before summer heat or in fall before winter moisture. Make it routine and your brake system stays clean, responsive, and safe. Fluid protects the system, but one hidden part destroys pads while you drive. The slider pin secret and heat management. Caliper slider pins let the caliper float side to side. When you press the pedal, the piston pushes one pad into the rotor. The caliper slides on those pins and pulls the other pad in from the opposite side. Both pads squeeze evenly and the car stops straight. When slider pins dry out or seize, the caliper can't move. The piston side pad does all the work. That pad wears twice as fast while the other pad barely touches the rotor. You end up with one pad at 2 millimeters and the other at 8 millimeters. Shops see this every day. They know you skip the slider pin service. The fix is high-temperature brake grease on every brake job. Pull the pins, clean them with a wire brush, wipe the bores clean, and coat the pins with a thin layer of synthetic brake grease. Silglide or similar products rated for 400 degrees. Do not use regular grease. It melts, runs out, and leaves the pins dry within months. Brake grease stays put under heat and keeps the pins sliding smoothly for years. Check the rubber boots around each pin. If they're torn, dirt and water get inside. The pin rusts and seizes. Replace torn boots immediately. They cost $2 and prevent a $200 caliper replacement. Now the 5-second rule. At stoplights, creep forward slightly every few seconds. Don't sit with your foot clamped on the brake for 60 seconds straight. When pads stay pressed against hot rotors, they transfer material and create an imprint. That imprint becomes a high spot. Next time you brake, the high spot causes vibration and uneven wear. Creeping forward releases the pads and lets airflow cool the rotor. On hills, use engine braking. Downshift to a lower gear or use paddle shifters if your car has them. Let the engine slow the car instead of riding the brakes. Continuous braking on a long downhill generates extreme heat. Pads glaze, rotors warp, fluid boils. I've seen rotors glow red after a mountain descent because the driver never downshifted. Use second gear or low range. Keep your speed steady without touching the brakes. Tap the pedal only when necessary and let the system cool between applications. Heat is the real brake killer, not mileage. A car that sees gentle stops and cool-down periods can run 100,000 miles on one set of pads. A car with constant hard braking burns through pads in 20,000 miles. These fixes work together. Clean fluid prevents internal corrosion. Greased pins ensure even pad contact. Heat management keeps temperatures low and materials intact. Conclusion: the real cost. Moisture, slider pins, and heat management extend brake life to 100,000 miles. Skip them and you're replacing pads, rotors, and calipers every 25,000 miles at $600 per cycle. The math is simple. 2 years of fluid flushes and annual pin service cost $300 total. 4 brake jobs cost $2,400. You save $2,100 and keep full stopping power every mile. Car Repair Insider is here for you. Subscribe to the channel for more tips.